Capuchin online programs. This is part of the Solanas KC Holistic Welfare Center, Viluppuram in India. We give motivational trainings and empowerment for religious and lay leaders, formators and formees, teachers and students, families, parents and children. We also give counseling to the individuals and the communities and the families. We conduct retreats and monthly recollections. Welcome to Solanas KC Holistic Welfare Center. Contact the Director, Nithya, OFM Cap. Email totalexcellencenow@gmail.com. Dear brothers and sisters, we are very happy to have Reverend Brother Wilson Sundar to give us today on the 5 types of religious in administration. As a continuation of the previous 3 days sessions on biblical leadership and stress management and conflict management, time management, today we are leading into how we can administer an animator with other people who are in our care. We welcome Reverend Dr. Wilson Sundar.
So for most special thanks to Thalir and Father Nithya Sagayam for extending this opportunity to me. Hello friends, hope you're all keeping well. So glad to meet you all. You're all administrators, good shepherds, guiding many souls toward the kingdom and its values. So hats off to you all. You are sharing in the shepherding ministry of Jesus. So we are so glad that we can come here and do a little bit of self-reflection. Okay, friends, we are going to see administration from a psychogeometric point of view. And let me start with the words of our Holy Father, Pope Francis. While speaking to the administrators, he uses this good verse, okay? Be shepherds with the smell of your sheep in the midst of your people like Jesus, a good shepherd. Every administrator is invited to get the smell of their sheep. So friends, this is what we are going to expand in this session. Okay, friends, in between I'll be offering little time for your interaction. And if you have some queries, you can type them and the host will read it out for me. Friends, in religious life too, all the administrators, we have to smell our sheep, right? And you're all leaders who are really guiding your flock toward this kingdom values. So let's see this administration and animation from a psychogeometric point of view. Friends, geometry, that's interesting, right? We are seeing our community life, our administration from geometric point of view. Here on screen, you can see about 5 shapes. Okay, friends? Now look at these shapes. There are like this circle, triangle, square, a squiggle, and a rectangle. Look at these shapes and try to figure which of these you like the most. Which of these is appealing to you? Okay. Friends, according to psychogeometry, depending on what shape you like the most, you will have a corresponding character. Friends, let me start with a little event that happened in the US some years back. There was a company in the US, because of mismanagement, they lost everything. They became bankrupt. They were about to close down. So they had the final executive meeting. They were planning about how they would bring about a closure. While having a meeting, all the executives, one of them suggested that instead of closing the firm down, they could employ somebody who was an efficient manager. He suggested the name of somebody called George Smith. And he said, if George Smith is made the general manager, then we can manage our firm very well. So heeding to him, they appointed George Smith. He was made the general manager. And within no time, this man was able to pull the company from the deficit side to multi-million-dollar profit industry. They had about 100 employees. They were able to go from 100 to 500. They were thriving, really blooming and blossoming. Within 5 years, they were able to go to a very high level. Okay, so Mr. George made that endeavor a great success. Everybody wanted to thank him. They organized a surprise party. Okay, so one morning when George Smith, the manager, when he was at his table, the owner of the company came up to him and said, George, I have some special work outside. Would you like to come with me? He said, sure. And they entered a hotel. And George asked, what's all this about? When they opened a hall, then he figured out what that was about. Okay, it was actually a felicitation party in honor of George Smith. Okay, as soon as they entered, they saw big banners. Thank you, George Smith. You are our savior and all that. Okay, and then they started the program, felicitation ceremony, and they had a little a dinner or lunch, whatever. And after that, they were all praises for George Smith. At the end, he was asked to address the executives, the party attendants. Okay, Prince George Smith, he grabbed the mic, and then this is how he said it. Hey guys, in the first place, did I ask you for this? Why did you organize this? It's waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy, waste of everything. I never expected this kind of a party. I don't want this. Okay? Friends, when he was not impressed, when he was not happy about the party, everybody got disappointed and they went back. Now, the secretary of George, her name was Margaret. Margaret was really, really devastated because she was the one who organized that party, and she realized this man was not impressed. In fact, he was upset by the party. She said, we just wanted to show our gratitude. Now this man is not happy. How else shall we show our gratitude? She was just wondering. She was in the office walking up and down in the manager's room, and she was wondering, how can I make him feel happy in other ways? As she was walking up and down, she realized, okay, on his table, okay, manager's table, she found there were photos of his family. There were 2 photos laminated and kept on the table. One photo was his family photo, the other one, photo of his 2 daughters. She right away said, maybe this man has got sentiment for photos. So what she did, she called his wife and said, ma'am, is your husband fond of photos? She said, absolutely. He keeps on clicking photos. She said, can I come home and get some of those photos? We want to give him a gift because he wasn't happy with our party. She said, sure. So Margaret went to his home, and without the knowledge of George, she got all the photos he had clicked. And she took those photos to a studio and told the studio person, photo studio person, to make 2 integrated albums. Now, one album was full of family photos, and the other album was full of the 2 daughters, at different ages. And she got the album ready. She gift wrapped it, and the following morning, she left it on the table of the manager. As usual, when George Smith entered his manager's room, he looked at the two parcels on the table and then he asked her, "Hey, what is this about?" She said, "I don't know. You look at it for yourself." When he opened the first album, he saw the two daughters smiling, the photo. He right away kissed his daughters and hugged the photo and started shedding tears. As he was going through the photos of the album, now and then he would just get lost. He was getting transported to the past, thinking about his relationship with his family. He became very emotional, started shedding tears, and now and then he would kiss his daughters. Afterwards, he opened the other album also and went through them. He took nearly 45 minutes. And then he rang the bell and called the secretary and said, "Margaret, which blessed person did this service for me? I'm so excited." He said, I had all soft copies of my family photos. I've been wanting to make some hard copies, and so far I never did it. I don't know. Some good soul has done it. God bless that person. He became very excited, and throughout the day he looked very happy, as if his battery was charged. Margaret was intrigued by this, and she was sharing this event with a friend called Dr. Susan Dellinger. Okay, she was a psychologist doing studies on different types of people and shapes and all that. After hearing this, Susan Dellinger, she brought in this new branch of psychology called psychogeometrics. So according to Dr. Susan Dellinger, okay, there are 5 shapes. Depending on which shape we like or which shape I like, I will have corresponding characteristic features. Okay. Friends, but I did a little research and then I figured out this may not be true. Okay. You like a particular shape and you have corresponding characteristic features. But certainly I figured out there are 5 types of people among us. Friends, as administrators, if you are able to figure out what type each one is, and if you can handle them accordingly, you will be a wonderful administrator. Okay, that's what our Pope means by, can you smell your sheep? Know the smell of your sheep. That means each sheep is different. The Good Shepherd, Jesus says, would even call each sheep by its name. Okay, that means, friends, what's the meaning of that? Calling each or knowing each sheep by its name. That means you know everything about that sheep. Okay, friends? Now, look at this. Supposing there are 5 types of mobiles on your table. Okay? Friends, there are 5 brands here, or 5 whatever. Okay. 5 brands. Okay? Friends, each brand has got its own specific charger, right? Battery charger, mobile charger. Now, when it comes to administration, our problem is this. Supposing I am an iPhone. Okay? I have iPhone charger. The problem is I'm trying to use iPhone charger for everybody else. Sorry, some of my community members might be Samsung, some of them might be LG, some of them might be Sony Ericsson, some of them might be Nokia, different companies, right? Friends, our problem is I'm trying to use my charger for all others and it doesn't work. And I get upset and I say, why these people are not understanding me? Why there is misunderstanding? We are all the time, getting disappointed with relationship. Friends, as administrators, if you are able to sense that there are 5 types of people in our communities, okay, and as a province, as a full congregation also, we'll be able to administer. We'll be able to be good administrators if you are able to figure out what type each one is. Okay, friends. Now let us go to different shapes. Friends, you don't have to check whether you like a particular shape, but can you all check and see whether your type, matches with any of these 5 types? By the way, if you're not raising your hand for any one of these 5, then get ready for zoo experience, okay? Because there are zoos where animals are less in number. They might want more animals. So get ready for zoo experience. Okay, friends, sorry, I'm just kidding. Okay, now let's go to 5 different shapes. And for most, you try to figure out what your shape is, and then you can try to figure out what shape each of your community member or your team member belongs to. Many of you are also heads of institutions. You can try to sense, the people you relate with every day, what category they belong to. Friends, the first shape is circle. So every shape has got its need. Those who are circles, what they want is direct attention and care. So when the people around them, whenever they exhibit, care, and they give direct attention, then their battery is charged. They feel that they are really cared for, they are being loved, and they become very supportive and cooperative. Okay, friends? Now, let me give you the example of a couple of saints who were circles, like Mother Teresa. I don't have to explain all this. You're all quite familiar. Who was an embodiment of care. And also Saint Francis of Assisi, he was a strong circle all the time, trying to focus on love, compassion, caregiving. Okay, friends? Now, there are community members in our community who are circles. You know what they really want? Before you get into the business, they want to know that you really care for him. That's why we have to start with certain formalities. Ask them, how are you? How is your health? How is your family? Last week you said your dad was sick. He was admitted in the hospital. How is your dad right now? Friends, when you ask a few personal questions, okay, and show your care, their battery gets charged immediately and they become very cooperative. They become very, very supportive. These are circles. Friends, have you come across some people, the moment you start with these pleasantry, how are you, how is your health and all that, they get irritated. They say, come on, come to the point. What do you really want now? Have you come across some people like this? Yeah. Now circles, every time they phone you, they call you, you know what they do? The business is over within 2 minutes. They want to convey some message, but they can go on and on, on phone. They can speak for half an hour, asking, inquiring all other details. They are circle people, okay? Friends, I'll repeat this. Those who are circles, when people around them show love and concern, then they give themselves totally. They are very happy. Their batteries are charged. So try to figure out whether you are a circle. Okay, so those sisters and fathers and brothers who are circles, they expect other people to show direct attention and care, especially those who are the animators of the community. Animators and the provincials and the generals, okay, and the head of the institutions. That is what they expect from the leaders. If you are able to provide this, friends, it takes only a few seconds to go with these pleasantries, right? How are you? How is your health? You started a project, right? How are you going along? So asking a few pleasantries, going with few pleasantries, they are very, very happy in the community. These are the positive qualities of as circles. They are good nurturers, caregivers. They are people pleaser, a good listener. They love harmony. They hate conflict. They are good team players. They have many friends. They are sentimental. They keep photos and plans in the office. Okay. Friends, to save time, sorry, I'm going to skip. We will send you these PowerPoints. Okay. Yeah, these are the positive side. They also have their flip side. They could be too emotional, very gossipy, overly personal, indecisive, self-blaming. They take problems home and vice versa. That means office and home are merged for them. They take our community problems to office and office problems to community. And let's things build up inside. That means those who are circles, they may not react immediately. When they have negative feelings, they allow it to, they brood, they ruminate on that. It keeps on building up. Maybe one day they might explode. These are the negative side of circles. Friends, those who are circles, they can do these ministries. They can be medical nurses, doctors, social workers, counselors, and caretakers. If you are having orphanage or having old age home and all that, these people are excellent. Friends, don't make circles, okay, accountant. Why? They need to rub shoulders with people. They have to see people every day. They have to have face-to-face eye contact with people. Then they are charged. You put them as accountants and librarians and all that, within no time, they would fall sick. Okay, friends? So knowing the type, we have to give them apostolates accordingly. In the Bible, we have, two characters, Martha and Mary. So Mary, the sister of Martha, seems to be a circle. So when she received Jesus, she's at his feet, listening to him, talking to him and sharing emotions and really feeling one with Jesus. Okay. So circles are like that. Maybe as Jesus entered the house, she sensed that he was disturbed. He wasn't feeling all right. So she was able to spend time and all that. That is a circle. Hope you have some clarity about the circle. Okay, now let's proceed. Friends, the next type of people, they are all triangles. Triangles, they could be the opposite of circles. Friends, they are not love-oriented, they are not care-oriented, they are task-oriented people. Okay, they want to accomplish something great. They want to reach the goal. They are more goal-oriented than love-oriented. So what is in front of their eyes? For a circle, people are before their eyes all the time. Whereas when it comes to triangles, projects and goal and work, all these are before their eyes. They are control seeker. Wherever they go, they try to take control of the situation. Also, what they expect from others is esteem. Friends, all those who are triangles, they are great leaders. They are born leaders. Okay? They can take control of situations. They are good administrators. They are quick to make decisions, and they are, they can make fast decisions. And once they make a decision, they immediately get into the field. They get into the rut and start working on it. Okay, friends, these people can work in an ambience where it's highly stressful. Whereas circles, they can work only in those ambience where there is a certain ambience of love. There is sisterhood, brotherhood. They can work in that ambience. Wherever there is conflict, wherever there are factions, wherever there are parties, it is stressful for circles. Whereas triangles, friends, when there's a dissension, when there are factions, actually they get energized. When people are opposing, they don't cow down. They are strong people. They are thick-skinned people because they have goal in their mind. They don't worry about the feelings of individuals. They can brush those things away, criticisms also. They march ahead. They want to complete their goal. Okay, they are very goal-oriented, good leaders. Friends, if you take saints, Saint Ignatius of Loyola, he was a strong triangle, a very goal-oriented man, great intellectual. He was able to take the order to a very high level of intellectual maturity. You know, even when the earlier people joined him, all were graduates. They were all highly educated people. And he was able to really bring order into the Jesuit order. He was a great accomplisher, a great doer. Same way we see Saint Teresa of Avila, a wonderful administrator. So she realized that Carmelite order was actually going downhill. So what she did, she took up the task, and then she was able to bring order. There were a lot of factions inside, confusion. She was able to reform the Carmelite order along with Saint John of the Cross. She had tremendous leadership qualities. Okay, so both these people were great leaders. So friends, what these people are looking for is validation and responsibility. If there are triangles in your community, give them a lot of responsibility, because the more responsibility you give them, the more energized they are. But one thing is very important. You have to give them respect, okay, esteem. You have to follow all the formalities and the protocols. They look for all that, you know, formalities and protocols. You have to do it. Otherwise, they are upset. Friends, I remember one general, okay, every time people addressed her, they had to say, Dr. So-and-so. If they did not say Dr. So-and-so, she would get upset. Okay, they need that. Supposing there is a community member who doesn't have any post and that person is a strong triangle, you know what you have to do? Give them a big title. Maybe that person is just a little gardener taking care of the flower garden. Okay, that is maybe 2 cents. You have to give them a big title. You have to say the manager of the flower garden of India, of the globe, of Milky Ways of the universe, some big title. Okay, and then they are very happy because what they want is that esteem. Everybody looks up to them. Friends, if you have a triangle in your team, in your community, you have a staff meeting, they come up with some suggestion. If you differ, and they will not forget you for life. Friends, they can become very inimical, you know. If you have a triangle, you know, what you have to do is, oh, that suggestion is an excellent suggestion. What a wonderful suggestion. Sure. We will consider your suggestion. Friends, afterwards, you don't have to execute it. But as you are suggesting, you show some excitement and say, wonderful suggestion, enough. Their battery gets charged. Afterwards, you know, they say, hey, I gave you a suggestion, you never executed it. You can say, well, we considered your suggestion first, okay? Then afterwards, we had so many other suggestions came and this is the end result. But we considered your suggestion the first, enough. Their battery is charged and they would really be very cooperative, you know? They are excellent with you, okay, friends? So give them esteem and give them also big responsibilities. The more responsibilities you give them, they'll be less problematic. Friends, if somebody is a triangle, you don't give them any responsibility, they can even become negative, okay? These are the good qualities of a triangle. They are good leaders, ambitious, confident, fast-thinking, strong-willed, competitive, controlling, focused, goal-oriented, decisive, practical. They have common sense. Okay, friends, these are the positives. Sorry, I'm skipping. Okay, I'm going forward. Okay, then negative traits are, they are driven. That means all the time they are under pressure from within to accomplish that project. that and reach the goal as soon as possible. Because of their driven nature, they might be impatient with others. They are overloaded. Okay, they want to be busy bodies. They don't like recreation and picnics and relaxation. That these are all bad words for them. These are taboos for them. They are workaholics. So they could be political, manipulative, okay, self-centered and status-oriented. These are the negative traits. But these negative traits are not found in you people. You are all, big saints, I guess. I'm just referring to some generals and provincials and heads who are in some other planet, okay? Like Mars or Venus. I'm not referring to you all. You all don't have these, okay? Friends, for all administrators and leaders, being a bit of a triangle actually helps you. But I'm going to say more later, okay? So these people can be good administrators, provincial, general, executives, and event organizers, and they can even take up challenging mission. Okay, if there are missions that are very challenging, you give them, because when there is a challenge, their battery gets charged. Friends, we see Martha in the Bible, a strong triangle. She tries to take control of everything. The positive side of Martha is, as soon as Jesus comes with his 12 disciples, apostles, right away she starts making lunch for all of them. A big lunch is prepared by her. So she's a great doer, an accomplisher. Okay. But the negative side is she even takes control of Jesus himself and says, what is this, you people, all wasting time in chatting? Come on, everybody come to the kitchen. I think she must have called even Jesus to come to the kitchen and do a little bit of grinding and cooking or whatever, or at least do some dishes and all that and set the table. She must have asked Jesus also to do all that work. Okay, friends, that is triangle. They are good administrators, but they are so goal-oriented sometimes. They are not in touch with the feelings of people. Friends, the next one is a squire. Friends, squire people are detailed people. Whatever they do, they are meticulous. Okay, very, very meticulous. They are trustworthy people. They are very loyal. Friends, they go into minute details and they plan everything meticulously and carry out. So they are perfectionistic in their approach, okay? But what they are expecting from the community, from others, especially from the leaders, is a trust. Once you give them a project, okay, and you have to show them trust, their battery gets charged. So what they need is a project and your trust, okay? Friends, St. Thomas Aquinas was a great squire. So he came up with this beautiful Summa Theologica that became a great, compendium of theology for the entire church for centuries, even now. His theology is so sound. Okay, a man with all details. Same way we have St. Catherine of Siena. She's also a doctor of our church. She also was a person who went into minute details. Excellent theologian. Okay. And friends, so what these people need is, this sister is an international architect, okay, designer. Okay. So what they want is give them a project and a deadline and they get charged. Now, once you give them a deadline, in between, we should not interfere and poke our nose into their project. They get really irritated. Supposing in between you start reminding them, now how is your project proceeding? They might get irritated. They might even throw the project away and say, come on, get somebody else to do that work. Okay, what they want is trust. Once you give them a work, okay, don't ever try to doubt them or inquire about what's happening and all that. Okay, friends, supposing you want to remind them, you have to tell them, sister, father, brother, whatever, I gave you a project, right? I just forgot about the deadline. When did I say you have to finish the project? Coming Saturday evening, 5 o'clock. Oh, okay. I know you will do it very well, okay? I don't have to worry about it, but I just wanted to remind myself. Okay, good, great. So you keep on saying statements of trust. Their battery is charged. Friends, any statement of doubt will really throw them off, and they might become antagonistic toward you. What they need is trust. Okay, friends, they are detailed people. Now, when they ask you for information, you have to be very specific and give them details. You should not say more or less. They get irritated. Supposing you are saying we are having a function and people are coming. They ask how many are coming. Friends, if you say maybe roughly around 100, they get irritated. You have to say 98.5 people are coming. Then they are asking, what is that 0.5? One small child is also coming. Okay, when you are very specific, then they get energized. You say maybe around 100, they get irritated. No, tell me the exact number. Okay, even if you do not know, you have to say some number first. Okay, you can say 98.5. Afterwards, you can say, there were some more admissions. So now we are having 103.5, you have to say. Okay, good. Friends, they are structured, most organized, logical, loyal, hardworking. They love rules, procedures, policies. They want predictable environment. They don't want you to be keeping on changing your thoughts and your decisions. They are persevering. Usually these people have a small circle of friendship. Why? They are looking for people who are very loyal, logical, and all that. Somebody similar. Okay. The negative side is sometimes they are overly meticulous. Okay, friends? Nitpicky. Sometimes they don't have fun in life at all. They are cool and aloof. They are loners because community may not match up to their level. And they could be complaining all the time because people are not marching according to their drums. And they are also resisting any kind of change. They want a predictable, consistent environment. Friends, these religious people can be secretaries, teachers, scientists, accountants, analysts, author, editor, programmer, computer programmer, consultant, and all that. Okay, they are very good. So you can have them as your secretary and they'll be excellent. Saint Paul in the Bible is a strong squire. Friends, we can, if you read the letter to the Romans, the entire Christian theology is summarized there. Okay, so our even Christian theology is based on the letter to the Romans, a detailed person. Friends, shall we have a small little break for you to intervene? Anybody? Friends, the next shape is squiggle. Friends, some of us are squiggles. Squiggles are full of energy. They are like battery. They are multitaskers. But what they expect from others is appreciation. Okay? Friends, squiggles are all the time full of energy. They are multitaskers. If a community member or if you are a squiggle, then they are like this. They are good in a computer work. They are good with gardening. Okay, they are good in marketing. They are good in negotiating. They are good in office work. They are good in kitchen work. Okay, like they are multitaskers. They can do many functions at a time. Okay, they are great in that. Okay, friends, they are all the time busy people. They are very jovial. They have they are highly creative, energetic, full of energy. jumping into action all the time. Wonderful. Okay, they are great creators. Only thing is, every time they do something, every time they contribute, they have to be recognized and applauded, and you have to have a big ceremony, whatever. You acknowledge their contribution in the public. Once that is done, their battery is charged. They can work night and day. Okay, friends, once their battery is charged, they are great, great creators. But if you don't recognize them, their talents, their contributions, they can become very negative. So we have two saints, okay, who were multitaskers. Friends, Saint Albert the Great, he was a wonderful saint. Okay, he was also a good church administrator. He was a scientist. He was a biologist. He was a physicist and astronomer. He was interested in astronomy, spirituality, and slightly he was a mystic as well. So multifaceted man, full of energy. He also brought a lot of transformation into our church. Okay, same way we have Saint Gianna Molla. She was an Italian, a very recent saint. Okay, in the last century. Friends, when she was born, she was brilliant. But even as a little girl, she was very active in the church. She was part of Vincent de Paul society. She rendered a lot of service. Then she became a medical doctor, a pediatrician, and she was good in gardening, good mother, good wife, and she was managing all these so well, church activities and home activities and hospital and all that. Okay, friends, she is a patroness of pro-life movement and a wonderful saint. Okay, they are multitaskers. So those who are multitaskers in the community, okay, give them different works, whatever they are interested, and all the time appreciate and give them accolade. Okay, recognize them in the public, and all the time thank them for their contribution. Then their battery is all the time charged up and they are able to contribute their level best. They are highly creative, energetic, futuristic, intuitive, expressive, motivating, stylish. They have a good sense of humor. They are dramatic, but they are least organized. Friends, one negative thing about squiggles is they are really charged up, doing a particular work. Meanwhile, they get interested in something else, then they leave the previous work and then they go into the new work. So sometimes they start many projects, but they may not complete them. So inconsistency is a problem. Okay. So they have to be interested in that particular work and then they carry it through and then they are able to finish it so well. Okay. The negative side is they have poor follow through, disorganized, impractical, uninhibited, illogical, and eccentric sometimes. Okay. Friends, they can be good agents, artists, performers, dancers, decorator, entrepreneur, preacher, all that. Inventors, musician, professor, promoter, researcher. So they can do all this. They can be very creative. Saint Peter in the Bible is a good squiggle. We see him multi-talented, but sometimes, fickle-minded also. He would jump from one extreme to the other extreme. One time, he cut the ear of Malthus, that servant. And the other moment, he just ran for life. Okay, so they can go to extremes sometimes. Friends, finally, we have the shape rectangle. Those who are rectangle, okay, they focus on home improvement. That means, okay, whatever activity they are in charge of, they all the time make it better and better. They keep on doing home improvement. Whatever responsibility given to them, they are not happy about the current situation. They keep on bettering them. They will do everything to better the situation, that project. You put them in charge of a particular activity, they keep on bettering it. Okay. But the downside is, okay, they need freedom. Friends, they are not time bound. They have no time frame in their mind at all. So what happens to these people? Okay, they keep on working. Friends, these people, what they need is freedom. Rectangles usually don't consult anybody. They do things according to their wish, according to their dream, according to their vision. But they are beautiful visionaries. So they are being terribly criticized, in religious life, in our institutions. Okay, we all the time, we want people to consult. We have dialogue. We go by consensus. Even when you want to paint your house, you ask, the community, what color you want, what brand you want, all that. These people will not consult anybody, okay? They do everything according to their plan, their blueprint. That's what they try to execute. But so they are terribly criticized. But friends, after 20 years, 30 years, people would say, hey, that man was a visionary. Oh, that woman, wonderful woman. They had a distant planning. Now it is working so well. So currently they would go through terrible criticism. But later on, people, they recognize the value of what they said. Okay, friends, these are rectangles. They are not time bound, but they are they keep on bettering things. They are good for long-term projects that are not time bound. Okay. Friends, Michelangelo, great sculptor and artist, he was a strong rectangle. He would take plenty of time to do an art piece. But afterwards, that was really fabulous. Okay, he would take his own time, but the end product was really fabulous. Okay, same way we have one mystic called Beatrice of Nazareth from Holland. Okay, in the 13th century, she was a mystic. She used to take time for everything, but whatever she said, she was not accepted during her time. But later on, they found that she had tremendous foresight into everything about life. Whatever she said was not accepted right away, but later on, she was accepted as a great mystic. And okay, so that's how they behave. In the Bible, we have Saint Thomas. Okay, he took time to believe, but once he was convinced, he gave his life for that cause. Friends, that's how rectangles work. In fact, initially they are confused, they take time to decide and all that, as opposed to triangles. Triangles, they can make decisions just like that, just within a second. But these people take long time. Sometimes they consult, sometimes they don't. Mostly they don't consult, but they take a long time. But once they make a decision, they are committed. Okay, friends, they will see through the project till the end and see that it is finished. And then they may not be appreciated right away, but later on people would appreciate them. They are in transition. They are not happy with the existing situation or condition. They all the time want to better the present situation and condition. They are searching, learning, questioning, growing. They are deep thinkers. Okay. They also have mood swings. Now and then they might get very moody. They may not communicate with others. They want to be left alone. Why? They need time to think and come to a conclusion. And they march to the beat of their own drum. That means they don't listen to others. But whatever conclusion they come with, okay, that will be excellent. And they are in a transitional phase. All the time, moving from one level to another. So the negative side could be they are confused. Sometimes they have low self-esteem. Why? People around them don't accept them right away. They are inconsistent, gullible, not genuine, unpredictable. Friends, these people are excellent for new projects, new endeavors. Okay? Yeah, they are good for that. St. Thomas in the Bible. Okay. Friends, now, Okay. Friends, supposing if you are able to sense somebody is a strong circle, strong this one, that one, okay? When you are relating with them, once you understand what shape they belong to, you can, you can change your approach accordingly. So let me repeat this, okay? While approaching a circle, please be personal. Ask some personal questions like, how are you? How is your health? You went for medical checkup. What is the result? Actually, they won't think you are intruding. Okay, they don't think you are breaking into the boundary. Rather, circles will think that you are really concerned. Whereas if you ask a triangle, what about your medical, you went for medical checkup, what's the result? They say, you mind your business. Am I asking about your health condition? Okay, why are you asking about my health condition? So they don't like personal chats and all that, okay? They say, come to the point. What do you really want? And all that. Whereas a circle, you have to spend a little time asking them, how are you? And all that. And now and then, make some personal comments and show them, I care for you. Okay. Friends, giving little gifts to circles. Oh, they are so happy. Friends, it's not you buy them a laptop and give them, not that way. Even give them a little picture, a little a medal or something. They become so sentimental and they preserve it. Okay? Circles. So whenever we deal with circle, we have to show a little love and concern. Now, when it comes to triangles, don't be emotional. Don't be very personal. We have to be all the time business-like with the triangles, because in their mind, there is only goal. They are not tuned to emotions of people. So what they need is esteem and responsibility. The more responsibility you give to triangles, the more they are charged up. They are able to do their level best. Okay. Sometimes they even control the superiors and provincials. Okay. Amen. But if you give them a lot of responsibility, they may not trouble you so much. If they are left free, they can start controlling the superiors, the animators. Okay, friends? So, and give them also esteem and responsibility. They will do very well. Whatever suggestion they give, you say, wonderful suggestion, enough. You don't have to execute them. Just acknowledge the suggestion they give. They are very happy. Okay, friends? So these people can be good leaders. Now, third, when it comes to squire, they can do ministries and apostolates that needs meticulous planning and meticulous carrying through. Okay, they are able to go into minute details. They are specialists. They love to get specialized in that particular area. But friends, they have the flip side also. Sometimes they are absent-minded professors, squires. Okay, friends, you know what? Once 4 absent-minded professors, they went to a railway station to board a train. No, they were delayed because of the traffic jam. When they entered the railway station, the train started moving slowly. So they ran and they started getting one by one into the train. Three of them managed to get into the train. The fourth one, before he could get in, it speeded up and he could not get in. And there was one station master nearby. He looked at him and said, poor man, sorry that you were not able to get into that train. He said, sir, I'm the one supposed to travel. 3 of them came to say goodbye to me. So those people got into the train instead of me. Friends, squires, they are so much focused in that particular project. Okay, they may not be good in other areas. Okay, friends, sometimes they can be very childish in other areas also, but they are so focused and specialized in one particular area. For example, scientist Isaac Newton. Okay, he was a great scientist. He was a mathematician. Friends, he had a little room where he used to do all his mathematical calculation. He had 2 little cats. Okay, kitten, one big cat, and he was rearing them. Now, it was during a winter season, okay, it was very cold inside. So he had the cats inside. No, cats become restless. And then while he was very busy writing, they used to meow. They were mewing, okay. So he would open the door, they would go out. Within 10-15 minutes from outside, meow, he would open the door and let them inside. They would come in and go out frequently. It was disturbing for Newton. So what he did, he made some holes in the door so that they would freely go out and come in. When his friend visited, he said, "Why did you make those holes?" Two holes. He said, a big hole for the big cat and small hole for the small cat. His friend said, "Hey man, if you make one hole, big one, both of them can go out and come in, right?" "Oh, yeah. Somehow that did not cross my mind at all," he said. Okay, friends. So that's how squires can be. I mean, if they stretch their character to extreme level, they can behave like that. Okay. Otherwise, they do meticulous planning and they are able to execute it. When it comes to squiggles, but what they need is squire trust from the animators, from provincial and generals. You have to trust them. Okay. Whenever you remind them about the project, you have to say, "No, I've given you a project. I know you will do it very well. I don't have to even doubt about it. You will do it very well. I'm just reminding myself, that's all." So the moment you trust, they do it with utmost care. Okay, friends? And next one is squiggle. Squiggle people are highly energetic people, multitaskers. They love doing different types of works. Okay, so you can give them different types of works. Wonderful. But the thing is, every time they contribute something, we have to recognize it publicly. Okay, so once they are appreciated, their battery gets charged up and they can give even more energy for all those projects. So they are multitaskers. What they need is appreciation, little pat on the back, little stroke, and their battery gets charged. And finally, we have rectangles. Rectangles are the ones who all the time improve the present situation, but they take their own time and they need freedom. Supposing if we keep giving suggestion or give them deadlines, they get irritated. Friends, squires, they are happy when you give deadline. They want a deadline. Whereas rectangles, they get irritated when you give a deadline, okay? But they keep on improvising on the present condition situation, and they are visionaries. So whenever they are suggesting something, currently it may not be relevant. But friends, they are visionaries. Maybe later people would appreciate, whatever they said, whatever they did. So if you have rectangles in your community, in your team, okay, as much as possible, you give them projects that are not time bound, but that needs improvement, okay, and give them freedom. They will do their level best. Friends, these are the 5 boxes, okay. Now, is it okay I remain in my box? No. Look at Jesus. Jesus was so flexible, right? From time to time, he was able to shift from one shape to another. Friends, if you are like a liquid water, okay, you pour water into a vessel, it immediately takes that shape. So a healthy person can change their shape depending on the environment. They are very healthy. Now look at Jesus. Whenever he sees sheep without a shepherd, Bible says he had compassion for them. So there he was a strong circle. Okay. Whenever he addressed the Pharisees, Matthew 23, he became a stern man who was able to mow down differences, and he was able to, tell them plain blank, what God really wants, the messages he wanted to convey. He was able to do it in a bold manner, and he was a strong triangle. Whenever he came to people who were misusing God's law, like Pharisees and Sadducees and those people. There he behaved like a triangle, very, very strong man. He used even very strong words sometimes. The other time, Jesus was like a squire, okay? Like, this parable of sower and the seed. Okay, Matthew 13, 24 to 30. Okay. Friends, he was able to give parable to people in a simple way because they were simple people, simple, unlettered people. Okay. Whereas the apostles were well educated by Jesus. So he gave a simple version to people. And when he came to the apostles, they asked, how do you interpret this parable? Then he says, you people are more advanced, right? So now I will explain in a different way. And he starts interpreting every symbol and starts explaining. Okay, there he behaves like a squire. Okay, friends, there are times Jesus is bubbling with energy, full of energy. Okay, he also says, come on, let's relax. Let's have little recreation. Let's have fun. Let's go for picnic. Don't be all the time, workaholic. Come on, let's have little fun. And we can see Jesus multifaceted. We can see one of the movies recently on Jesus where we can see Jesus being multifaceted, okay? When they go along the seashore, he takes sand and throws at them and then water. He splashes on the apostles. They have good fun and play. Okay, when he goes to the wedding at Cana, when they play music, Jesus starts dancing first. He dances with all the apostles, okay, and all the people. So Jesus is multifaceted and a person full of energy. He's also multitasker. We all know he was a carpenter's son, but Jesus was giving direction to Peter about fishing, right? So Jesus was actually multitasking. And he was giving parables of various kinds. He was speaking about birds. Even though he was a carpenter, he speaks about the season, the clouds and birds and all that. Okay. So he's a multitasker. And there are times, he is rectangular. He speaks about parousia, the life after death, about heaven, hell, all that. Okay. And then he even says about the end of times, what will happen. Not toward the end of our earth, these are the things will happen. So friends, we can see Jesus being very liquid. Friends, this is not negative manipulation. It is actually adaptation. So Jesus, every time he senses the environment, he senses the type of people, and then he immediately he's able to address their needs, and he's able to show his multifaceted personality. And that's how, he's a good leader. He's a compassionate shepherd. Okay, he's a multitasker. He goes into deep details, as well as Jesus has got vision. So friends, if you realize you are a strong particular shape, then we have to slowly change. Friends, now nobody is pure shape. We are all combination of these 5. So everybody, can you figure out what your primary shape is? Okay, and then go to secondary shape and tertiary shape. Friends, I'll say this again. If you are really confused about your real shape, you say, I really don't know what shape I belong to, then you are a healthy person. You say, yeah, I'm a strong circle, then you may not be healthy. Okay, friends? Now you're all administrators, right? So this triangle is very good, but a pure triangle is not healthy. Sometimes they can become even dictators. I remember one particular mother general. She was such a strong woman. Friends, she was a strong triangle, so much so they would call her lioness. She was like a female lion, lioness, very strong woman. But after she stepped down, within 6 months, she came to me. She broke down in tears. She said, how much people respected me when I was Mother General. After I stepped down, even dogs don't look at me. No people, she was actually suffering from cancer. She said, sisters are not visiting me at all. They have rejected me totally. No, I'm devastated. She kept crying. Why? She did not develop the circle part of it. She never developed that she was not a good shepherd. She was a great administrator, putting up blocks and buildings and institutions. But in the, she was many years Mother General. She had hurt hundreds of people. Some of them even started taking revenge. One sister even made a comment. She said, I wish you had more cancer, you suffer and die. Okay, one person even blurted out when they had an argument. Okay, and she felt miserable later. So friends, if I belong to a particular shape, if I'm a pure shape, that's not healthy. So good administrators are the one. Friends, there are two things. Whatever within my personality I want to incorporate, I have to do that, number one. Number two, I see that if I'm not good at something, I keep somebody as my team member who can fill in that gap. Friends, supposing if you are a strong circle and you are a leader, right? Then have a square as your secretary. Then have a triangle as a member, a council member. Okay? Have a rectangle as your team member. Have a squiggle. Okay? Friends, usually for most of us religious people, the provincial team, the general team, there are 5 people, right? Usually. And see, 5 shapes and 5 people, excellent. But initially, there'll be a lot of frictions. No, there'll be a lot of dissensions initially. Yeah. But the leader has to see that you extract the best from everybody, and then you are able to make a good community. Friends, whatever aspect of other shapes I'm able to incorporate into my personality, well and good. But we are all not perfect, right? So let's also have team members belonging to other shapes who can complement our personality. See, many leaders, they look for somebody who is similar to me. Initially, you might be getting along so well, but the administration will suffer eventually. Okay, friends, if you are a strong circle, please have a square as your secretary and then, have all other shapes in your team. You might say, if there's a triangle, they might even challenge me, right? Yeah, sure. But what you have to do is, every time they have a suggestion, they come with a contribution, okay? You have to applaud them and say, excellent suggestion, enough. And give them little responsibilities, okay? Plenty of responsibilities, that are not involved with hurting people, okay? Friends, for example, project making can be given to them, where they don't deal with people directly, triangles. So when you load them with responsibilities, they may not target the leader. Am I clear? Friends, whatever shape you belong to, you can be an excellent leader. That's why I have shown you saints, great people who were belonging to particular, for example, Saint Francis, he was not a triangle at all. He was a pure circle. But he was able to appoint somebody, Brother Elias, who was a strong triangle as general, and Saint Francis was a founder, and the Franciscan number increased. It went to even 5,000. Okay? Whereas if you take Mother Teresa, friends, she was a combination of circle as well as a good triangle, Mother Teresa. Within her personality, she had this 2 combinations. So when it came to handling the people, the destitutes, the poor people, aged people, she was a strong circle. When it came to her congregation administration, she was a strong triangle. Am I clear? So Mother Teresa was able to incorporate all these areas. So she was a well-balanced person. Okay? Whereas Saint Francis of Assisi, he was a strong circle. He was not good at administration. So what he did, with all humility, he said, I'm not a good administrator, so let me appoint somebody to help me. One Brother Elias was taking care of the administration, and St. Francis was able to freely exercise his charism he was a happy person. But friends, initially they had a little friction, both the founder as well as the general. Okay. Then gradually he even got upset with the general. Gradually he learned that the middle path is the best. And then Jesus assured him, hey, Francis, don't worry. What you're doing is the right thing. I will take care of your order, he said. Afterwards, he was able to relax and then enjoy his mysticism. Okay, friends? So everybody, if you are able to incorporate the traits of other shapes, well and good. Whatever area you find that you are unable to incorporate, okay, then you get the help of somebody who can take care of this. This way, you can be an excellent administrator. Okay, friends, that's more or less about psychogeometry. Friends, here we don't have to worry about the shape and this one, but there are 5 types of people. Just for namesake, we have these shapes.